The breeze fell into the delusion of controlling the game world, but the building was destroyed, swatted away by the creature that used the webbing. And now Nather can act.
I'll see if there's anything sort of from where I am above that I can push up and drop on the monsters.
Nather spots
Building.
a building nearby, on the verge of collapsing. Nather can still take an action.
I will look for debris in said building and push it off onto their heads.
Roll reaction plus any other attributes. The threshold is 5.
I think I'm going to go with reaction and luck, because this sounds like it might be interesting. Six.
It falls completely upon the destructive creature that reduced the webbing. The arachnoid suffers a terrible hit. It is about to collapse, exposing itself completely to Etheria that can now take action.
I lash at its legs to topple it.
Roll might plus might. The threshold is 4.
Might plus might, did you say?
Might plus might. The threshold is 4.
Uh, 5 successes.
Roll those 5 successes. The threshold is 5.
3 successes.
The attack was so violent that the creature collapses completely, impaling itself upon various pieces of structures that have been destroyed. The surviving armadillo creature rolls away, apparently in a panic, making pathetic noises. The breeze can now act.
I chase it down and try to pin it to the ground.
Roll might plus reaction. The threshold is 6.
I leap into the air and attempt.
Number of successes.
Keep forgetting that. 2 successes.
Roll those 2 dice. The threshold is 7. 7 or above. 1 success. It is easily done. Now the breeze is on top of the armadillo creature, and Nather can take action.
We'll have a look for anything that's on the verge there of dying and squeeze. And see if I can squeeze its last breath.
As soon as Nather does that, the creature begins to shine and explodes. The breeze takes 2 health damage. Nather and Etheria, being hit by some of the pieces of the creature, only take 1 pain damage.
Sweet.
A few humans gather around you, and with their tiny sounding voices, apparently cheer on all of you.
I lower my face and nuzzle one of the humans.
10 points to confidence. To everyone, gets 10 points to confidence.
Yeah, I forgot this is a stat we have to look after. So we're on 40 now, are we?
Mm-hmm. You now hear a limping, stumping sound from behind. And you can see Gomodor limping, carrying a destroyed plane in one of its three-clawed hands. Begins clacking and making noises, pointing back towards the half-submerged cave without waiting for you. It begins to limp back while motioning you to follow it.
I immediately bolt forward towards him.
I follow behind, checking my surroundings.
I'll do the same, but stay sort of somewhat away.
With everyone following, Gomodor and Nather slightly behind. Everyone easily makes their way into the cave once more. Gomodor turns around, growls and hisses, making exaggerated motions. He points to a section of the cave covered in kelp and vegetation, begins removing it, and primitive paintings are revealed, but paintings the size of a kaiju, crudely painted and drawn in brownish, reddish pigments. Gomodor continues to make motions, clacking noises, explaining that these paints, these images, have been here since millennia. And images of strange looking objects coming from globes and spheres above the cave express a communication, an arrival, a contact between the humans and these strange beings. Gomodor pulls out the top of a bunker, upside down, resembling one of those objects that humans call bowls. Within it are various bones of huge animals, elephants, whales. Gomodor moves the bones around and looks at you, communicating that the answer to all of this lies in the nation of Astrala, just northeast from here, the island of Astrala. The ocean must be crossed. The elder Kaiju crosses its arms and nods at you in expectation.
I kind of give it a low bow, and my lizard as a lizard can.
I tilt my head.
So I don't do sort of anything with that, but I acknowledge it and just start looking at the boat.
Gomodor points towards the exit of the cave and makes various guttural noises, communicating that it is a long journey, that you must go with haste.
I then take off outside of the cave as the water splashes up my feet and up my leg.
I move out of the cave myself.
Yep, same sort of an approximation of a swim rather than look through tasting as I go.
It would seem that way,
The three Kaiju make their way across the ocean towards Astrala. Some parts are shallow enough for all of you to wade through the waters. Some other parts require swimming. easily enough, you notice that several battleships and helicopters from Blue Star City, these ones not covered in the strange purple goo, follow at a respectable distance, a few hundred meters away.
I look back towards Nether and I check her for any wounds in the previous battle.
There is a slight wound to be recovered. It can easily be healed through the breeze's power.
I start shaking back and forth as the ghosts leave my body and onto her.
An automatic success. Everyone is completely healed, especially the breeze and Etheria because of their constitution. Everyone must roll luck plus luck. The threshold is 8.
Oh boy.
1 success, no ones.
What did the breeze roll?
No successes here.
What did Nather roll?
2.
The breeze, before everyone, bumps into an invisible barrier, suffering shock, 1 point of pain damage. An invisible barrier just discovered because of the impact that the breeze suffered.
I try to scratch at the invisible barrier.
As soon as the breeze approaches its appendage, the shock almost causes damage, almost, but it is clear that this force field, this barrier, is not to be trifled with through normal physical means.
I will launch a mental attack on the barrier, psionic wave towards it.
For a moment, it seems as if Etheria is about to launch something, but it is considering the attack in the future.
What did it roll?
In the present,
I launch a psionic wave towards the barrier.
there is a reverberation. The attack was immediately successful. And underneath the waters, 3 red boxes shine that were not seen before at the very bottom of the ocean floor. But then, huge waves begin to move. The battleships that have been following you sway. Some of them have been sunk. Everyone takes -10 to confidence.
-10 to confidence.
Back to 30.
Hell yeah.
And 2 huge beasts make their appearance. One is at least 2 Kaiju's head above each one of you, the tallest Kaiju that you have seen so far. The other one seems to be made completely out of shards of ice. No features whatsoever to it. Everyone must roll initiative. A single die plus initiative value. What did Nather roll?
15.
What did Etheria roll?
16. Sorry, I was adding it up.
What did the breeze roll? The breeze.
I rolled an 8.
Etheria can act now. The creatures are within 500 meters of distance. easily within Nather's reach.
I slam the water to create a giant wave towards them to topple them.
Roll might plus any other attribute.
I will go might and willpower, as most of Etheria's attacks are mental based.
The threshold is 6.
2, 3. Roll my 10. I got 4 successes.
Roll those 4 dice. The threshold is 6.
6. Cool. 2, 3. I got 3 successes.
The violent impact hits the enemies with such a tremendous blow that they go underwater for a moment. And now, Nather can take action.
I see that one of them is nearly stood up again and use my tail to turn round and drip it back up again.
The largest creature that you can now see closely, with a crown made out of bone spikes, are produced from its head. Red eyes, horrible looking maw. And Nather can carry out the action. Rolling might plus any other attribute. The threshold is 6.
Thank you. That would be 4. I used, but the might have taken the reaction that it has behind to see where I can find a weak spot.
Roll those successes. The threshold is 7.
1.
There is a spot just underneath the right arm, and Nather can easily attack that spot right now.
They would like to.
It is an automatic hit. The creature is damaged. A crunch is heard, but also a roar. Now, the huge creature takes a swipe at Nather. Nather can react.
They will try and go under the water so they can't see them.
The huge creature was too fast. The pain was felt. The impact left a horrible mark on the Nather's body. 3 points of pain damage. But Etheria notices that the creature is completely exposed. There is a chance for a free action.
I send a shadow spike into the weak spot.
Roll power plus any other attribute.
Power plus any attributes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I'm rolling power and willpower.
The threshold is 6.
6. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes. Rolling those 5 again.
The threshold is 7.
7. Thank you. Four successes.
The creature almost falls to its left side, but the eyes, being composed completely out of ice shards, rolls up into a crouching position, and terrifying, cold, freezing aura is produced from its body. Everyone suffers 3 points of pain damage. And now the breeze can take action.
I grab a hold of the creature with my maw and throw it into the force field.
Roll might plus reaction. Threshold is 6.
I rolled a 10 and an 8.
Roll the 10 again. It explodes.
8.
3 successes. Roll 3 dice. The threshold is 5. Five or above.
9. 1 9.
The creature is easily thrown into the force field. It makes noises as if pieces of ice are breaking apart, but it is sufficiently intact enough to break free from the effect. And now, Etheria can take action.
I charge forward into the monster, pushing it and holding it against the force field.
Roll might plus reaction. The threshold is 5.
2, 3, 4. Reaction, 2 for might. Threshold 5, did you say?
5.
Sweet. 5 successes on that.
Roll 5 successes. The 5 dice. The threshold is 6.
6, thank you. 4 successes on that one.
Etheria completely obliterates the ice-composed being. It explodes against the force field. And now Nather finds itself in front of the huge, scaly being with the crown made out of spiky bones.
Fighting an impulse to run, I'm going to see if I can talk to it. I mean, it must be some form of hissing, but it might respond rather than trying to attack.
For a moment, the huge being pauses and roars through its guttural noises, communicates that every kaiju that is not with them is doomed to die. And now, the breeze can take action.
I charge towards it and ram my head into its stomach.
Roll might plus might. The threshold is 5.
6, 6, 6, 9.
Roll 4 dice. The threshold is 6.
6, 8, 4, and 5.
Almost jamming its head completely into the creature, the breeze deals a fatal blow to it, and it sinks, bleeding out, falling to the very bottom.